Aaron, take that in there.
Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us. K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I am Ace, and of course, I am joined tonight by none other than the one, the only, Mr. Chris Mabry. How you doing tonight, my man?
Going good. How's everybody doing tonight?
Oh, not bad. Just sitting here, getting ready to do a little bit of Sports Minute, and of course, we're also joined tonight by none other than J Mac, the bearded one. How you doing tonight, my man?
I'm doing all right. We're making it.
Ready to rock and roll on a little bit of Sports Minute here. And so, of course, you know what? Guess who popped up here in the comment section? That's right, Mr. Isaiah. Isaiah is already here in the comment section. So welcome, Isaiah. Oh, and there's Nate. Nate is also in the comment section. So as people probably forget about what Saturday is on Sports Minute, Saturday is completely open forum. That's why we all love Saturday Sports Minute, because we just talk about random topics. We don't come in with topics. You know, our viewers can throw topics in the comment box, and we'll go ahead and we'll pull them up, and we'll talk about your topics. But, of course, we always start out with the topic just until we get one. And so,
by the way, I'm fine with fans throwing in comments. But Justin, if you're watching, man, we want to get to all your questions, but you got to spread them out a little bit. Last time we were on, you kind of threw like 6 of us all at once, and I think we missed a couple. So if you're watching, Justin, make sure you spread them out for us just a little bit so we can get to all of them.
Absolutely, because it can be pretty difficult to try and get to them all when they come in so fast and furious. And so, Isaiah, yes, I'm going to go ahead and get to that comment right now. So, Chris, if you can go ahead and pull that one up here, because that's how I actually wanted to start the day. Ace J Mac, sorry about your Braves with Freddie Freeman, a free agent after the year. The Braves probably not making the playoffs this year. Do you do what the Yankees did with Chapman 3 years ago, trade him for prospects, then try? No. Are you kidding me? I think we can still make the playoffs, even though, let's understand this, okay? We finally got – I am actually impressed. We finally got back to 500 on the season. We've been waiting for it. But this 500 mark is the part to where we really start hurting. Every time we get to 500, we start slowing down like crazy, and we start losing games. Now, today, we actually suffered a big loss in Ronald Acuna. That was a huge loss for us on the season. And then, yet again, what almost happened? We had a lead going into the 9th inning. We still managed to win 5-4. But I will tell you what, Will Smith almost blew another freaking game. He brought it back to 5-4, and then Cooper almost hit a 2-run shot to walk it off. It dropped just short of going out. I don't understand at this point in time exactly what Brian Snitker continues to see in Will Smith. But as a closer, this dude is hot garbage. Okay, so I understand out of 20 attempts, he saved 18, so he's only blown 2. It seems like a heck of a lot more, but
okay. But you don't just look at the blown saves. So the 2 blown saves that he blew were both 1-game leads, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
In one run leads. I don't think he saved a game yet. And games that are tied, how many losses does he have now? That's the other thing to look at. Like, he can't hold a lead. He gives up a run almost every outing. And even if he doesn't give up a run, he walks 2 or 3 guys and loads the bases and then has to pitch out of a jam.
It's just like today. He allowed the runner on, and the runner got to second off a wild pitch, and then he managed to get to 2 outs without allowing a run.
By the way, that's because Dansby laid completely out to make that play at short and threw it all the way to Freeman, who pretty much did the splits to get that out.
Yeah, and trust me, I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying right now that Will Smith in the closer role is a problem. It's a problem.
Yep, it sure is.
But I'm not just going to only say Will Smith is the problem. Our whole bullpen right now is a complete
Other than Luke
atrocity.
Jackson, it's unreal. Like, Luke Jackson's always the guy that we've ragged on for years. Like, oh, great, here comes Luke. We're going to give up. And he's been our best reliever, our most consistent reliever this year.
Yes, he actually has an ERA in the ones. So that's why I'm saying he's actually having a decent. And look at our bullpen. When you look at our bullpen, it hasn't really changed that much. The only thing that has really changed was Melanson, because Melanson was our closer. Other than that, Green is back, Martin's back. We still have Jackson there. We have Minter. We have Smith. So all these guys were there last year, and nothing has really changed. And last year they were really good, and this year they're really bad.
Got to ask you. Let me ask you a question. Coming into the season, in the first 3 or 4 starts of the season for each starter, did you think at this point into the season that Drew Smiley would lead our team in wins?
No, and I'll tell you what though too. Like to really start the season, I don't know what's going on with Max Fried. I really, really don't. But I know last year he had that phenomenal year, and now he's dropped back down to earth. So I completely do not know what's going on with him. The one guy that I'm truly concerned about in the rotation right now is Mike Soroka, because he has torn his Achilles twice within a 1-year span. And that to me is truly concerning. Now, Brian Sitzer did come out and say he kind of missed on that one because that was kind of his fault too, to where he kind of rushed it back along with the trainers. He felt like they had rushed it back too.
I mean, sure enough, but I'll just say that we were talking about whether Atlanta's going to get back into this race. I'll say that we overcame a lot this year. We're on our 5th catcher, maybe our 6th catcher now in Lucroy. We've had, I don't even know how many guys behind the plate this year. So you got Lucroy up now. As diehard of an Atlanta fan as I am sorry to say that I really don't know if we can overcome the Acuna injury.
I am telling you now, I really don't think. I don't think we can. That is an absolute humongous loss. Like we're gonna have to, if we want to, we're gonna have to acquire somebody. We're gonna have to do it via free agency. That's really the only way that we're gonna be able to get past this. Unless we bring up Waters from AAA, but that doesn't mean that Waters is going to be the same.
I know. We tried Pache, that didn't work.
But he's also hurt though too.
Well, I mean he's hurt, but it still didn't work when he was up. He was 1 for 22 in the majors or something. Like he wasn't a very good hitter. He didn't hit well at all.
So we can get somebody's opinion on this that is not an Atlanta Braves fan. So, Chris, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think that this is something that Atlanta can overcome with Acuna Jr. being out?
I don't think so. I mean, it's bittersweet only because you did win the game and you're back to 500, but you lost one of your key players in it all, and now you got to try to find somebody. So it's going to be challenging. Hopefully they can continue to win games and kind of climb back out of it. But it's going to be tough.
All right, so we have some comments that are rolling in here. We have Nate who's saying, Braves are a second half team, and generally we are. We are generally a second half team. We can turn it on in the second half, but losing some of the injuries that we have now, and don't forget that Marcelo Zuna is still out too. So we have.
But I'm glad
Junior out.
I just say I'm glad you brought up Ozuna because I saw a report that said that they're actually looking into that whole thing, and he's saying it's a big misunderstanding. That's what his attorney is saying, that it didn't really happen the way that the media is portraying it. So if he gets his charges dropped, does Ozuna come back in enough time to save the season for Atlanta?
Maybe, I don't know, because you really need his bat in the lineup. You really do. And then we have James Gonzalez just saying, "I feel so bad for Acuna Jr. That looked like a horrific basketball injury." Yep. Then James Gonzalez might as well bring back Javi Lopez to be your catcher again. Javi Lopez was, I'm not going to say our last greatest catcher because we did have Brian McCann, we had Evan Gaddis, so and Travis
Tyler
Darno,
Flowers.
We need Darno to come back. We need him to get healthy and come back too. We need him back. And then James Gonzalez is also saying Acuna Jr. is great for the game. Absolutely, Acuna Jr. is great for the game. So that was the first thing that I wanted to bring up. So J-Mac, I'm going to jump to you. Is there something you wanted to bring up?
I mean, we could bring up almost anything at this point. We could bring up underwater basket weaving right now. But you know what? I'll hit on one, and I'll tell you that I think as far as the game goes, I think we're about to see a turnover in tennis as far as both on the men's and the women's side. For who the new face of tennis is going to be on both sides. I think that Serena Williams is past her prime, even though she's been the face of women's tennis for, 15 years. I think it's turning over to...
Still there on the men's side.
What's that?
Djokovic on the men's side is still there.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, he is, but I think that he's on his way out. I don't think he's in his prime anymore. He's still winning some tournaments, but I think they're all past their prime now. Yeah. It's my opinion, and that's fine. We don't have to have the same opinion on it, but I just think that it's one of those. We saw it before. We had Agassi and Sampras that were huge in the 90s, and then we saw Andy Roddick and then Nadal and all these guys start taking over like 15 years ago, and now it's turning over again, and it's what happens in tennis. It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we're on an overturn
because Osaka is coming up. Osaka's there.
For sure.
So she's starting to become that upper tier on the women's side, but you have Thame, who's coming up on the men's side. So
that's actually what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I was curious if you were thinking of Thame because he's been ranked anywhere from second to third. Normally, it's been it's been Nadal and then Djokovic and then Thame. You still have Federer there, but he's kind of getting up there too. So Nadal, Djokovic, Federer, they're no longer spring chickens, so they're continuing to get old. And then Thame is still the young one. So he's the up-and-comer that I truly feel is going to be the great in the game now. The game's going to come over to him once Djokovic and Nadal and Federer finally decide to call it quits.
Yeah, I agree. I think that we're on a turnover to a new leaf there as far as tennis goes, and then 15 years we'll be talking about it again, when we're much older as well. By the time we're talking about this again, I'll probably be in my 50s, so
now I do before I forget, I will say this. What do you guys think, J-Mac? And I know once you hear this, it's like, oh, finally. What do you think about our boy Lionel Messi finally winning a trophy with Argentina?
I think it's great.
Oh, wow.
I think it's about time. I think he was becoming the the Dan Marino of soccer. Just always getting there, the Jim Kelly, if you will. Just could get there, but never could win it. And so he finally won one, and then we got to take him off that now.
Lionel Messi had no help, though. When you think about it, he really had no help because
when you're paying a guy $90 million a year, you don't have any money to sign anyone else.
You don't, but that's why we got into that big discussion, with the contract, the huge contract that they paid him, and then they wanted to pull it back and say, hey, you know what, we can't pay you this anymore, so we got to change your contract. And that's why. because they paid him so much they couldn't pay anybody else. But it's good for soccer to finally see Lionel Messi win a trophy with Argentina. So I do want to say congratulations to Lionel Messi. That to me is absolutely amazing because Lionel Messi has been one of my favorite soccer players of all time. You know, you have Ronaldo out there, and of course you had Pele as one of the greats. So when you talk about Lionel Messi, Chris, where do you rank Lionel Messi overall when it comes to soccer?
Well, right now he's one of the top players of the game. I'm not sure overall.
Yeah, I'm talking about all time. I'm not talking about just right now because when you think about soccer right now, Lionel Messi's the guy. Like, that's truly who you think about. But I'm talking about overall.
Maybe number 3. I can't think of any others. I would say like maybe 1 or 2.
Oh.
I don't know.
J-Mac, where do you put him? You have him at 5. Okay, tell me, who do you have in front of Messi?
Who do I have in front of Messi? In front of Messi, I would personally, I'd have Pele in front of Messi all time.
I think everybody would put Pele at number 1. I think everybody would put him.
I'd have Ronaldo.
Ronaldo, yeah, I definitely have him in the top 5.
The one that everyone might disagree with me on is Landon Donovan, but when he played international, he was one of the best of all time. And then 4 is David Beckham.
David Beckham, yeah. You definitely can't forget about Beckham.
That's who I'd put in front.
It's, to me, I don't know if I can put Donovan in front of Messi. I don't know if I can. It's close, but I don't think so. We do have a comment really, really quick here with Brandon Herrera saying, really, Brandon, you really had to bring that up.
No, you got to read the comment.
I know, let's talk about the hottest team going, the Minnesota Lynx, who beat Aces team, the Las Vegas Aces. Yes, I know. Thank you. But the Minnesota Lynx, Brandon Herrera, if you remembered on Sportsminute, we've talked about this before, and we said that the Minnesota Lynx are definitely an up-and-coming team. I'm not denying that at all. Okay, but my Las Vegas Aces, man, we're there, and I'm telling you, we're going to probably be number 1 when the season's over. No. We're going to be number 1.
No, you're not. You had your chance.
We already beat Seattle.
Yeah, you beat them, and then you went and lost the next game, and then, like, now
we're going to be fine.
Now you're a full game behind because you lost to the Lynx.
It's fine. We're going to be okay. We beat Seattle once. We'll do it again. So
you're saying history will repeat itself and they'll lose the next game?
No, we're not going to lose the next game. We're going to beat – when we play Seattle again, we'll beat them again. We're not worried. Well, you're going to lose games. Okay, there's no team out there that's going to come out and win every game. It's just not going to happen. You're going to lose games. But I'm simply saying that next time – Las Vegas plays Seattle again, it's going to end up happening. Las Vegas Aces are going to beat Seattle again. It's going to happen. Las Vegas is going to end up at number 1. Seattle's going to end up at number 2. Brandon Herrera is saying that Aces will be number 3 when it's all said and done. So, Brandon, if you think they're going to be number 3, then tell me 2 teams that are going to be ahead of them. And I know you're going to go with Seattle. You're on mute. You're on mute.
He's going to go with this Seattle, and the other team he's going to say is the Lynx. But here's why. Yes, you can. Here's why.
There's no way.
They only have one more loss. They only have one more loss than the Aces do. They only have 7 losses. The Aces have 6.
Though. It's not going to happen. I'm telling you. It's not going to happen.
I mean, yeah, I agree. Teams win some and they lose some, but Seattle's a really good team.
But Las Vegas is going to do this, okay? So we're sitting right here, okay? You have Las Vegas, that's right here. You have Minnesota right here. Okay, so when it comes to the Aces and Minnesota, Aces have more experience. So later on in the season, when it comes to later on in the season and close to playoff time, that's where it's going to come to the Aces. They have that experience. The Lynx don't have that complete experience yet. So that's where the big factor is going to be when it comes between the Aces and the Minnesota Lynx.
You're entitled to your opinion.
But let's go back to this comment that Brandon was saying really quick. Messi's the second best Lionel ever behind Richie. Okay, I like that comment. All right.
Yeah.
So Chris,
Dancing on the ceiling.
Chris,
Oh, what a feeling.
is there a comment is there something you wanted to talk about?
Indoor football.
For the love of God,
we're
please don't say Dallas. Please don't say Dallas. Okay.
Indoor football.
I mean, we do have a Frisco team that is 6-1 in the league. They won their game last night, and it looks like we're making the playoffs. So, and it's not like what they tried to do in the spring. So,
All right. So you can keep giving everybody an update if you want on indoor football.
I can. There's several different leagues. One league called the Champions Indoor Football. They're heading into their Super Bowl matchup, and it's between Omaha Beef and Salina Liberty. And I think that's
Whoa, hold on, right there. Say that first name again.
Omaha Beef.
That's the greatest name of all time.
Yes.
That is the greatest sports name ever. Let's just talk about that for a minute. Like Omaha Beef.
Yes.
Omaha Beef. Like, you
Yeah.
didn't even go Omaha cows. You didn't even go Omaha heifers. You went Omaha Beef.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a great name, right? That's awesome.
That is a good name. I do like that one.
That's my new favorite indoor football team, just based on the name.
There you go.
Never seen them play. They could be 0-7. I don't even care. Omaha Beef is my new favorite team.
No, their game. A lot of their games are on YouTube. You can watch them.
By the way, our live views just went up by 4 since you said Omaha Beef. Like
The Omaha Beef.
there you go. Yeah, I guess they're a popular team.
Keep going.
But yeah, I mean, there's different leagues, and they're going through the season. It's been a shortened season. They play from around 4. They play 17 weeks, but they play 14 games, so they get like 3 bye weeks, and kind of like in baseball, they have a rule where you can catch if it goes out of bounds in the stands, you get to keep it. So, have yet to catch one. Personally, like when they go for the net, the kick, sometimes it goes through the stands, but you can keep it. So, kind of a baseball thing.
So we have a few comments that are rolling in here. So James Gonzalez is saying, Big 3 basketball came back today. Great place to watch the old players play. Absolutely. If you like to see him like breathe hard and sweat a lot running up and down the court, that's
and they have a 4-point shot in that league.
Yeah,
they do.
It's incredible. It's awesome to see. It is awesome to see.
It's only half court because they're like 60 now and they can't run a full court anymore.
Yeah. But Brandon Herrera is also saying Coast to Coast favorite team is the Beef.
Yeah.
And then James Gonzalez is saying I need an Omaha Beef T-shirt now.
Yes, James Gonzalez, I'm with you. I'm going to order one and I'm going to wear it on the next show. It's going to be Omaha Beef. I don't even know what color it's going to be, but that's fine.
What color is the Omaha Beef?
Their colors are orange and black.
Oh, that's even better.
I was sending the link. Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty cool colors.
Oh, I don't know. Orange and black though, man. That's like charting the overall like Chicago Bears like when they wear their orange.
That's
and
blue
black
and orange. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but they go back sometimes to wear those orange and black shirts that they have, and it's like charting that borderline Chicago Bears territory.
I mean, maybe, but we're talking we're talking beef here. We're not talking chopsteak.
Well, I mean, you kind of talked about it. They are bringing back the helmet rule, or like not the one helmet rule, but where you can wear the alternate jerseys.
Oh yeah.
I
They're
love
bringing
the
that back next
alternate
year.
jerseys. By the way, every time I play Madden, I don't think
Yeah.
I've ever played a game at home where I have my regular home jersey on. I'll even go create one.
Right.
Creating jerseys is probably the funnest part, or creating an overall team and,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
doing it
or
from
player.
number one. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. I love that. It's great. I definitely can't. But the interesting thing is like I went out and I bought the new Madden this year. I played it, but I only played it a little bit because I was so disappointed in the game. I really was super disappointed in the game.
It's gone.
Huh.
It's gone way. I think it's gone to online play, and so the offline stuff and creating stuff really isn't there anymore like it used to be.
Right, yeah.
My all-time favorite Madden game will always be Madden 12, just because you can create everything on that.
Hmm.
Huh.
Now, James Gonzalez, really quick, is saying the Omaha Beef. Their slogan is "We got beef, bro."
Dude, that's brilliant.
We got
I
beef.
wonder if that's their actual slogan, because that would be great.
I'll have to
And if
look
not,
it up.
hey, and if
That
not,
would
in
be
Omaha
awesome.
Beef, anyone from Omaha Beef, if you're watching right now, James Gonzalez is your man. He needs to be your new ad advisor, because that's a great slogan.
We got beef.
Yeah.
We got the overall beef. So I know you guys don't really talk about it a lot, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring it up anyways, because right now, you have the Phoenix Suns that are beating the Milwaukee Bucks 2-0. I don't think at the beginning, really, nobody expected the Milwaukee Bucks to be in the finals anyways, because everybody thought it was going to be the Brooklyn Nets, but then you ended up knowing, the injury that happened to Kyrie, and that James Harden was out for a few games because of injury. The Bucks were able to beat them. Now you have the Bucks and the Phoenix Suns, and now everyone's saying that it's going to go 5, if that, because they're saying that the Suns are going to come out and basically just mop the floor with the Milwaukee Bucks. And right now, with the way it's looking, it very well could happen, because the Phoenix Suns are up 2-0, and it doesn't look like there's really any way that the Milwaukee Bucks are going to be able to slow the Phoenix Suns down. I don't see any way.
No, I don't see any way either. I'll tell you what, this is the one time a year I watch the NBA. It's during the playoffs and the finals. And I will say that it's the Chris Paul effect. And I'll give you, not that Chris Paul wasn't going to the Hall of Fame before this, because he was, absolutely was. But he wins this finals with the Suns. He could retire tomorrow and be in the Hall of Fame. Like, this will solidify his Hall of Fame resume. Absolutely, because he led this Phoenix Suns team to a finals.
Well, a lot of people would say, though, don't forget about Devin Booker, don't forget about Payne, don't forget about Crowder. And I get all that, but when you truly think about it, the Suns were almost a playoff team last year when Chris Paul wasn't there. But then Chris Paul became that guy, and now he's going to pretty much lead him to the promised land, because I don't think the Bucks are going to beat him. Because right now it's basically Giannis, and he needs Middleton to be able to step up. He hasn't really had anybody else step up to really help him. And so that's why at this point in time, when people are saying, that this is going to 5, I don't even know if it's going to 5. I don't even know if the Bucks are going to be able to beat the Suns at all in a game. Right now, with the way it's looking, I don't think that they're going to.
Yeah, I agree. It's not going to go to 5. They're going to take care of business in 4. And James, I agree with you. Chris Paul was always a first ballot Hall of Famer. All I'm saying by this is like icing on the cake for him. It's just the final thing that he can put on the cake. He could walk away after this year and have nothing left to prove, because that's like the one last thing that everyone knocked him for was no championship.
Well, yeah, but you got to look at some of the teams too that Chris Paul has been on, that he made even better yet. Look at the Thunder. Look at what he did for the Thunder last year with nobody. Like, he took a Thunder team that everybody was like, oh, they're in rebuild mode, and the Thunder aren't going to do anything. He goes on that team, and he leads them to the playoffs and goes 7 games against the Houston Rockets. And you're telling me that's not Chris Paul? That was all Chris Paul. That was all Chris Paul.
Certainly was. Certainly was. And that's all I'm saying, because everyone talks about, oh, we can't forget about this guy and this guy. Well, let's talk about the fact that Devin Booker's been there, DeAndre Ayton's been there, Payne's been there. They've all been on this team already. They all had a chance to take this team to the playoffs. Chris Paul shows up and tells Devin Booker. Booker told us this, that his conversation, the first ever conversation they have in the locker room was, I'm here, I got you, you go be a baller, you score the points, and I'll run the offense.
And so James Gonzalez is coming out now saying that Chris Paul is probably the best Clipper of all time. And truly, I mean, he's probably not wrong. It's pretty close, because when you think about the Clippers that were actually there, when they had that big three, so to call it, they wanted to call it the big three. When they had DeAndre Jordan, and they had Blake Griffin, and they had Chris Paul, and everyone's like, okay, this Clipper team is going to be so good. You know, they're going to go a long ways in the playoffs. And then every year, something would happen. It was Blake Griffin was always getting hurt, or Chris Paul was getting hurt, or DeAndre Jordan was getting hurt. You know, somebody was getting hurt pretty much every year, and it just didn't pan out. But Chris Paul, to me, was like, he was kind of that I'm trying to think of the proper word to put it. He was kind of the blades that made the helicopter spin. That's kind of what it was. That's who Chris Paul is. Now, Chris, we haven't heard your opinion on this. You know, we sat here, we're talking about the Suns and the Bucks. Do you think that the Bucks are going to win a game, or do you think it's going to be a clean sweep?
I think the Bucks are going to win a game. I think they'll probably win. What is it, 3-0 in the series?
No, it's 2-0 right now. It's 2-0 right now.
Okay. I think Bucks will win game 4. Suns will win game 3. Bucks will win game 4. And then the Suns will clean it out game 5.
No, I'm telling you this. Game 3 is going to have to be the game that the Bucks win. If the Bucks do not win game 3, they are getting swept by the Phoenix Suns. I guarantee it, because all the wind in their sails are going to be completely gone, and that's going to be it. Like at that point, the Bucks are going to be like, yeah, there's just no way. The Suns are going to be too good. So if you go down 3-0, it's over. It is done, because you're not coming back and beating the Suns team in 4 straight games. It's just not going to happen.
No way.
No.
All right, J-Mac, I'm going to turn this one over to you now. What is there something you would like to talk about?
Well, let's see. Let's look through the the catalog. The John Deere Classic.
Oh, golf.
Yeah, you got it, Chris.
I'm just guessing.
Yeah. Hey, good job.
Sebastian Moines right now leads. He shot a 4 under 67 today. He's at 16 under for the tournament. 1 day to go. He's one ahead of Haggy and Moore. So they need. They're only 1 stroke back. Nagy's 1 stroke back. Moore's 2 strokes back. And then you got the Open Championship, which is coming up July 14th through the 18th. That'll be a great one to watch, for sure.
My boy Rhodes is going to be up there. Scheffler's going to be up there. Dustin Johnson's going to be up there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be some primetime players, and I'm looking forward to that, because it's going to be one phenomenal 4 rounds of golf, may I say.
That one's going to be good for sure. That's what I got for golf. Not a whole lot going on there. What's going on in the NASCAR world?
NASCAR world, man.
I don't know.
No. Okay, so in the NASCAR world, when you really think about it, NASCAR is it's really not the same that it used to be. But you still have those same guys who pretty much come out and kind of dominate. You know, you have the Kyle Busch, and you have the Joey Logano's of the world, and the were you gonna say something? Because it looked like you're like, huh?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I'll
you're
agree with
talking-
you. I'll agree with you on Joey Logano, but when you come out and you say that the
you have a
first
Chase
person
Elliott.
the first person you think of when you dominate NASCAR for me is certainly not Kyle Busch.
But Kyle Busch has been there, and he has a ton of experience. He's won multiple races.
Oh.
He's won championships. It's Kyle Busch.
I'm not denying that. I just don't think he's the first name you think of when it comes to NASCAR racing.
No, right now though, right now, when you overall think about maybe the face of NASCAR, when you truly think about it, if you were to really think about the face and you think about everybody who's racing right now, it would be close between maybe it's Joey Logano, maybe it's Chase Elliott, Kyle Busch. I would say he was right up. Kyle Busch was really considered one of the faces of racing when Jeff Gordon was there and Jimmy Johnson was there and Mark Martin was there, but Kevin Harvick is still doing his thing. So you have some guys out there who are still so young, but you have some awesome faces out there, especially Joey Logano. Since Dale Jr. retired,
Right.
I was like, who's my guy now? So I had to go with either Joey Logano or Chase Elliott. Those have been my two guys that I'm like, I'll follow them the most when it comes to NASCAR right now.
Okay, I mean, granted, but here's what I'll say. Do you know why NASCAR is so? You know why it's so popular in the South?
Good.
No.
It's really easy to follow when you're hammered. Because you're just like, left turn! Another left turn!
That is
Left
true.
turn. Now, Chris, you
Yeah.
probably couldn't guess who our favorite racers were of all time.
I'm not sure. No,
Wow.
I don't.
You have no idea. All right. So, I'll say, for me, it originally was Dale Sr. All right.
Okay,
and then went from Dale Sr. to Dale Jr. And since Dale Jr. retired, now, like I said, it's now Joey Logano, Chase Elliott, guys like that. But that's basically what's going on in the NASCAR world today as of right now. But the other thing I was going to say, J-Mac and Chris, these were the things I was going to mention. So we basically had a dominated, and absolutely, when you look at NHL, you have the Tampa Bay Lightning who dominated in the Stanley Cup Finals. Like, it wasn't even close. It was just a domination style. All right, so this might be like the worst two finals when you truly think about it, because you have the Tampa Bay Lightning who dominated, and then you're going to have the Phoenix Suns who are going to dominate. So let me ask you this: when you have two finals to where teams come out and just dominate the other, how bad for sports is this, do you really think?
Well, I don't know. Like, how bad was it for the NBA when Jordan won 6 out of 8 championships in 8 years? I think basketball was at its most popular during that time. And they dominated during that time. And they probably would have won 8 in a row if he didn't retire. So, just saying.
I'm just saying, though, right now when you're looking at it, and people are talking about, the finals, and then when they had the Stanley Cup Finals, I'm like, yes, this is sweet. I'll get to watch the finals. I get to watch the NBA finals. And then you start watching the game, you're like, man, this is so mismatched. Like, this isn't even competitive, because the Suns are so much better than the Bucks, and the Lightning were so much better than Montreal. It was crazy that I'm like, this cannot be good. Like, the viewership will be down because, like, it's just going to be a massacre. I don't
agree that the viewership was down in the NHL. I do think the viewership's down in the NBA, but I think that has more to do with some political stances that they've taken versus actually just going and playing the game. And here's why hockey's the greatest game in the world, by the way, because you go out there, you don't like a guy, Like, if I didn't like Chris, I could just walk out there, pull his helmet out, punch him in the face, and they're like, oh, you go sit 5 minutes in a penalty box, and you think about what you did really hard. And then I come back out there after my 5-minute penalty in the next period. I go out there and I punch Chris in the face again, and what do they go? Oh, you go sit down for 5 minutes again, and you think about it. Like, tell me that's not the greatest thing in the world for the NHL. Because, you pull that in another sport, like, you're gone. They don't even think about it.
They're trying to decrease that.
Yeah, but what's interesting about it though too is when you see a hockey or when you see a fight break out in the NHL, it's not like the refs are really, really quick to get up there and break it up. They kind of let each guy get in a few punches and wait a few seconds, and then they finally go and say, okay, break it up. So it's not like an immediate, let's get over there and break it up. They usually give them at least a few seconds to get in a few shots, and then they decide to break it up.
It's like you get your 20 freebies, and then I'll break it up.
Yeah.
Right.
And so,
right.
and actually the saying used to be, I went to watch a fight and a hockey game broke out. That's pretty much what it was.
Yeah.
When you watch hockey, they like to watch the intensity. They like to watch the fighting. And so I went to watch a fight and a hockey game broke out.
Yeah.
And so James Gonzalez is saying, I was watching the Stanley Cup Finals more than the NBA recently, which is kind of true. I mean, this year with the NHL, especially in the playoffs, man, there was some awesome games going back and forth. A bunch of series went to 7 games. You didn't know which way it was going to go. The only really one that you could really think about that you kind of knew was going to happen was that you knew the Lightning was going to win it. I mean, that's in the end, you kind of knew that. But
hey, guys, I hate to break up the hockey talk because, I can sit here and talk hockey all night, but I want to get this one from Christy Wilson talking about the end to UFC 264. Mm-hmm. She's not going to say what happened, but I'll tell you what happened. There was a doctor stoppage.
Oh.
Considered a TKO.
Mm-hmm.
And McGregor is not the one that won.
Well, yeah, which
that's no surprise.
Everybody, which that was really no surprise because I think when you thought about it, McGregor the first time he did it, he got his butt kicked. But let me think about this. People did not have McGregor winning this. I know there was some McGregor fans out there that probably did, but I'm looking at this going, no, McGregor's not going to win this fight.
He's retired, I think.
Oh, he's done. I mean, the guy snapped his ankle. Like, he broke his ankle. It's like, he's done. McGregor's done. That's it. Yeah. And I thought it was funny. He had an interview with Stephen A. Smith, and he's sitting there talking about how he could take on Floyd Mayweather anytime, any day. Bring it on. Let's have another fight. And I'm like, and what? Do you want Mayweather to kill you this time, or what?
Yeah, because I think if Mayweather really wanted to, that fight could have lasted it could have went less rounds if he really wanted to. If Mayweather took it to him, it would have got ugly really fast. It really, really would have.
Yeah.
Because McGregor is not a boxer, and so he when he tried to box Mayweather, I'm like, I don't even think you understand. Like, UFC is completely different from boxing. It is not the same. You can't get in a boxing ring and you can't kick guys unless you're in kickboxing. But they weren't. It wasn't kickboxing. That's not what it was. And so you can't use your UFC moves in boxing. That's not what you do. And so I knew out of all of it that, especially when he went up against Mayweather, I was like, I knew McGregor didn't have a chance. There was no way.
Mm-mm.
As James Gonzalez put it, he's running out of Lucky Charms.
Yeah, he is, because McGregor, he's now getting old, and it's time for McGregor to retire. It really, really is.
He has money. He has enough money. He's doing, I think, whiskey commercials or something.
Well, he's got proper 12. I mean.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's Irish.
Yes.
Who knows how to drink whiskey more than the Irish?
So Christy Wilson said, I had McGregor winning the fight, but I knew that there was going to be a chance that he would lose. I just didn't anticipate him getting hurt during the fight. But those are things that you don't anticipate. But I always say expect the unexpected. You really do, because it's like when you go to watch an NFL game. It's like when you go to watch an MLB game. It's like when you go to watch an NBA game or an NHL game. You're going out there to watch your team. You're going out there to watch your favorite players play. Now, you're going out there being like, oh yeah, I have my team picked to win. You know, my team might be up here, the other team might be here. I have my team picked to win, but who knows? Your starting quarterback might get hurt. You might break his ankle. He might break his foot. He might break his arm. And then at that point, it changes everything. So I always come out and I would say expect the unexpected, because you never know what is going to happen at any point. So that's why when people say, oh, it's a given that this team's going to beat the other team, it's going to – if injuries happen, you never know. All it takes is that one massive injury to happen.
Well, you can say, too, that on paper it looks like this team's going to be this team. But
you can say that.
Right, but and then like you were saying earlier, but when the game actually gets underway, it could be totally different.
It can, because
if we went on paper and we looked at everything on paper, that means what? The Cowboys would have won 20 Super Bowls by now, according to all their fans. Because every year they're going to go 11-5 or 12-4, run the NFC East, run through the playoffs, and what happens? Every year they just go out there and they're like, choke me harder, I like it.
That is true. That is true.
On paper, Dan Marino would have had several rings.
Right.
So you just never know. You cannot go by off what's on paper. You just can't.
And in the words of Herman Edwards,
you play to win the game.
You play to win the game.
You play to win the game.
And
that's why they play the game. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. And playoffs.
Don't talk about playoffs.
But this is a big thing though too, is that people talk about. That when people talk about in the NFL, when they say that these teams go out there and they I'm trying to think of the proper word. Teams go out there and they basically lose on purpose. You know, people will go out there and say that they choke these games away on purpose. But here's the thing. Why are players and coaches going to do that? Because number one, these same players are fighting for roster spots. These same coaches are fighting to keep their job as a coach. And if they know they're getting fired, there's no way that they're going to be like, well, heck, they're going to fire me after the season, so I'm just going to go out there and lose every game. They're not going to do that. They're going to do whatever they can. Thank you, Christy. I couldn't think of the word. I knew it was right there, but tanking. Yes, there's no way that teams are going to go out there and tank on purpose. They're just not, because people are fighting for playoff spots. That's what they're trying to do.
Yeah, but
I mean, in that regard, people aren't tanking. I mean, I've gotten tanked on purpose before, but
well, no, but I'm saying though, you know, if you're out there and you're fighting for a roster spot, there's no way that you're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna let this receiver burn me for a touchdown. Because if you're getting burned and you can't make any tackles and you're allowing touchdown after touchdown and you get cut and you're like, oh, I want to go sign with another team's going to be like, man, you got burned how many times last year and you want us to take a chance on you? There's no way. So I just don't agree with the whole these teams are tanking.
I don't either. I hear it on TV and the radio where they're like, you know, it teams like the Jets, they're 0-10 and like they're tanking. You know, they're tanking for Lawrence.
You know that is why, even though the NBA has gotten a lot of things wrong, the one thing that they got right was the lottery. And I think that more leagues should do that. In fact, I heard
everybody a chance.
Because then it's like if you don't make the playoffs, you have a shot at getting the first pick, and it's not guaranteed to just the worst team in the league. I heard a proposal for the Pro Bowl, which I thought was pretty clever, actually. Instead of playing the Pro Bowl, because nobody watches it anyway, because no one cares, you still select the guys. You still say, oh, you were an all-pro, you were an all-pro. I mean, that's cool. Right. But we take the worst 2 teams in the league, and you have them play an exhibition game. But the winner of that game gets the number 1 seed, number 1 pick in the draft.
I mean, if what?
You take the worst 2 teams in the league. So last year it would have been Jacksonville versus the Jets. Okay? You have them play instead of playing the Pro Bowl. You have those 2 teams play each other. And the winner of that game gets the first pick in the draft.
I mean, that wouldn't be bad.
And then also you could say, because I know they do the Super Bowl in different areas, you could say the winning, well, they're both AFC, but the winning team too can also get a future spot in the draft. You know, the hosted draft, or more incentive to it.
Some kind of incentive. I think that'd be way more exciting than the Pro Bowl, where you watch, a guy not hit another guy. They play two-hand touch. I don't want to watch NFL players playing two-hand touch. That's not really what I want to see.
So since some people like to see this, and since the show is almost over, I wanted to do something very special tonight, and I wanted to see if somehow Chris Mabry could pull off the true upset, because J-Mac has ended up losing one time. That's right. I brought a trivia game back, and it's not just NFL and MLB. It's just all around. It is all around trivia.
All right.
I think I can do it.
Because just think, it's not just one sport, Chris. So this is legitimately going to be all over the board. So
unless it's indoor football, I'm not worried.
So J-Mac, since Chris has not beaten you yet, I'm going to give you the option. You want to go first, or you want to defer it to Chris?
I want to defer.
All
right. So Chris, the first question is, what's the diameter of a basketball hoop in inches?
100 inches.
My goodness!
I don't know.
100 inches?
I don't know. 63 inches.
Okay,
that's 5 feet across, Chris. That's 5 feet across.
I don't.
18.
Yes, it's 100 inches.
I didn't know.
With 63 inches is 5 feet across. If NBA hoops were 5 feet across and guys are shooting 52% from the floor, I'd be like, why the hell did you pick basketball as a profession if you can't hit a hoop that's 5 feet across?
And just think, there would never be a shot clock violation.
Never. You can throw that thing from the parking lot and you're going to hit something.
Right, it's crazy. All right, so J-Mac, this one comes to you. What sport is best known as the king of sports?
Well, it doesn't. These questions are never as simple as they seem. So I'll say soccer, but it's probably going to be some thing before that.
It is soccer.
No.
It is soccer. It is the king of sports. It's soccer. All right, Chris. This one comes to you, and this one, I think Chris might have you on this one, maybe. All right. What is the national sport of Canada?
Ooh. Curling.
No, that is not correct.
Ooh, that would have been my first guess.
I was going between two of them, but
yeah. Curling would have been my first guess. So
Christy Wilson is saying, she's saying hockey ?
That's
James
that
Gonzalez saying hockey.
God, that probably would have been my second guess, but I don't think it's that simple.
Is it?
I don't know. I'm gonna say lacrosse.
Lacrosse is the right answer.
What? What the hell? I was like,
Yes.
what? I was like, it can't be hockey. That's too simple. And you guessed curling. I didn't even know they played lacrosse in Canada. I was just throwing in
I didn't
some
know that
sport
either.
out there.
Yes,
Huh.
yes, lacrosse is the right answer.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
All right, Chris, this one comes back to you.
Okay.
Christy Wilson lacrosse, are you kidding me?
What country has competed the most times in the Summer Olympics yet hasn't won a gold medal?
Ooh, that's a good question. Summer Olympics.
Yeah, it's the Summer Olympics and has not won a gold medal.
I'm going out on a limb and saying Sweden.
J-Mac, you have a guess.
Greece.
No, the correct answer, and James saying Ethiopia. the correct answer is actually the Philippines,
Learned something new today.
right?
Yeah.
All right. All right. So, another Summer Olympic question. And Chris, let's see if you can get one right. What country has competed the most times in Summer Olympics yet hasn't won any kind of medal?
Ooh. It's got to be a small country. Think small, Chris. It's got to be a small country.
I'm not sure. Poland?
Huh?
Poland?
No, that's not the correct answer. J-Mac?
Jason, are you on mute?
So, Christy Wilson saying Mongolia. James Gonzalez saying Georgia.
Belize.
No, the correct answer is Liechtenstein.
I would have never
Liechtenstein.
guessed.
It's
Never. As much trivia as I know, I never would have got that one. So if that makes you feel any better, Chris, I never would have got that.
All right.
And I probably could have. You probably could have put it on a map in front of me, and I still wouldn't have been able to tell you what country that was.
So I'll do two more questions, and I keep going to Chris first on this one since J-Mac is winning. I want to give Chris a chance, but this one I think you'll get right. At least you have to get this one right. In what game is love a score?
Oh, come on!
Dennis.
Tennis, yes, you got it. You got it. Thank you. I wanted to give you a chance. I'm like, you have to know that one. You have to know that one. All right. Let's see. One final question here. Oh, those are too easy, though. Okay. Okay. Here's the question, Chris. Right here. What sporting event is held every year on Memorial Day?
Whoa, come on!
I'm trying to give Chris a chance here.
Memorial Day.
I think you got this. Maybe.
I'm trying to think of all the.
Memorial Day. What is it?
I'm thinking that
Huh?
Indianapolis 500.
You got
Son
it.
of a bitch!
You got it right. You got it right. You got it.
I was thinking that. I'm like, is it? I can't. No.
Well,
I don't know.
At least Chris got on the board. I wanted to give him a chance to get on the board, so he got a couple right. But anyway, So we're to the end of the show now. We want to thank everybody for watching. That was just a little brief round of trivia that we did just to have fun here. So, and some of these questions we ask are really fun, but apparently, Chris thinks that a basketball that a basketball hoop is 5 feet in diameter. So I don't know. It's interesting. But anyway, so J-Mac, you got 30, 45 seconds to go and wrap up whatever it is you want to say.
Thanks for watching tonight. You'll catch me again on Monday on the Four Bros Radio Show at 9 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Central Time. Watch out for that. It'll be a great show. We might have a special guest on that show, so stay tuned.
And then, Chris, you.
Thank you guys for watching tonight's Sports Minute. Tomorrow we will have Between the Ropes. And make sure to tune in for Four Bros on Monday.
And that's right. And so thanks to everybody for watching again. And yes, Brandon, really, every Memorial Day is when the Indianapolis 500 is held. So with that, I want to thank all of our viewers for watching. I hope you had another fantastic time coming to enjoy another episode of Sports Minute. And we will see you on Wednesday for another episode of Sports Minute. So everyone have a fantastic night, and we'll see you later.